Hello grade 3s, I'm Shanae. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to do literacy and we are going to focus on homophones. Now, what are homophones? Homophones are two words that are spelled differently but sound the same. They also have different meanings. So our emphasis is going to be on their spelling that is different, and they have different meanings, even though they sound the same. So for example, when you maybe phone a friend and you talk about the number 8, but your friend thinks you're talking about 8 as in you ate a piece of corn for lunch. Sometimes you can get lost in translation, and that is why context of where you use your word is very important. So let's look at an example of 8 and the spelling and the meaning of both of these. So the first one you'll see in front of you is 8, A-T-E, and that is the one where we talk about eating. But then we have 8, E-I-G-H-T, which is 8 as in the number. Now let's have a look here at this example where we used 8 as in the eat one in a sentence, and it just did not make sense because the spelling of the word is not the same and the meaning is not the same as the 8 numbers. So there are 8 puppies. Can you see that because we used the wrong 8, that does not make sense at all? But when we said there are 8 puppies, as in the number, the whole sentence made sense because we used the correct word. So now we're going to practice using these homophones, and we're going to distinguish between the homophones that are correct in each sentence. So let's have a look. So here we have a picture, and what we're going to do is we're going to write a sentence with each word, and these two will be homophones, all right? And then in these sentences we need to show that we understand the difference between the two. So our first example is see, as in by the ocean, and the other one is I see my friend eating an ice cream. So here we go. I see my friend play cricket. So can you see that we're talking about the action to look, to actually see? And then we say, I like going to the sea to play on the beach. So when we use this sea, we make it clear that we understand that the S-E-A is for where we are at the beach. So the next one we have is mail and mail. So the first mail is something that you get in the mail. So we send letters in the mail, we receive mail, and then the other one we get is mail, as in a boy or your dad, right? So we have two different mails. So we're going to make our first sentence with mail, as in the thing that you post to someone. So I received a gift in the, and remember we're using the M-A-I-L because we're talking about a service when we send stuff. Now we're going to make a sentence with mail, as in boy. So boys find their clothes. So we can say boys find their clothes in the, now mail, M-A-L-E section. in the male section. So can you see that we know the difference between male and male? So now we're going to look at road and road. Now this one, R-O-D, is when you rode your bike, whereas the other road will be like the streets and where you drive your car. You drive your car on the road. So let's make a sentence with the first, road. So we can say, he rode his bike to school. Right, so can you see? We used that road. Now we're going to say, there are many lines on the road. All right, so here we used road and road in different sentences, and in these sentences we can see that they have completely different meanings. Even though they sound the same, they don't have the same meaning or spelling. So let's look at the next one. We have write, so we write sentences, and we have write as in the direction. So let's write our first sentence. I write a lot of letters to my friends. I write a lot of letters to my friends. And then the right as in direction, we can say you have to turn right at the robot. You have to turn right at the robot. And full stop. And now we are going to fill in the correct homophones. So we will have two sentences with a homophone. So hi, hi, flew, flew, here and here. So let's look at our first one. We say, guys, how was the party? So do we say hi as in high up in the tree, or hi as in hello? We say hi as in hello. Then I can climb quite up in the tree. So we just forgot to put a little line here so we know that our missing word needs to go up here. So I can climb quite high. So that is up, up, high. High up in the tree. So can you see high and high sound the same, totally different meanings, totally different spelling. So let's go on to the next one. I'm not feeling well. I have the flu. So will it be flu as in fly or flu as in sick? Flu as in sick. So you will use F-L-U. Flu as in you are sick. And now we look at the next one. The birds to their nest. Flew. So are we talking about flying, which is the first one, or are we talking about being ill? We're talking about flying. So we know that we will spell it as follow. F-L-E-W. Flew. Right, so can you see again? We have the same sound of word, but they are spelled differently and they have different meanings, and we had to make sure that we use them in the correct sentence. So let's look at the next one. The next one says, we can see the ocean from, and can you the bird sing? So we have here and here. Now this here, an easy way to remember is if you take the H away, you spell ear, okay? So we know that this one is when you listen, when you can hear something. But if we talk about hear, H-E-R-E, we're talking about right where you are. I'm here in front of the TV. So right here, H-E-R-E. Okay, so remember that little tip with hear when you listen. Okay, so I can see the ocean from. Do we want to talk about hearing? So are we talking about we can hear the ocean, or are we talking that, or are we saying that we can see it from where we are? From where we are. So we will use the here. And then our next one, can you the bird singing? Can you hear with your ear? So remember, hear with your ear. Yes, you can. So we want to hear the bird. So we will use the H, E, A, and R. Hear. And now we're going to do another one. So we have night and night. So the first night is the one that saves the princess and rides on a beautiful stallion, all right? And then the other night is when it's dark and you need to sleep. All right, so that's the one with the N. So let's see which one we're going to use in what sentence. A, is one of the pieces in a chess game. And then we say the stars shine bright at night. So we know that we get a knight, which looks like this, the horse. So we spell it with a K, N, I-G-H-T. And there we say the stars shine bright at night, so N-I-G-H-T. And then our last one, through and through. So the first through is to look through something, or you're driving through something, but the through with a T-H-R-E-W is when you throw something. Right, so make sure you know the difference. So I threw the moldy apple in the bin. So we're going to talk about throwing. So I threw. And then she looked through the binoculars. So through. So T-H-R-O-U-G-H. Through. All right. And then our very last activity, you can quickly look. We are going to match the pairs of homophones. So we're going to do a few and listen to the sound. Okay, so let's do which. What else matches with which? How about this one? Which and which. So which is right? So this which, we're actually talking about a choice, which. But when we look at this which, we're talking about the witch in Cinderella or in Snow White that's kind of evil. Okay, let's do one more. Let's use flower and flower. Right? So flower and flower. This flower is the actual flower you see in your garden and during spring, and it's just so lovely. And the other flower, the F-L-O-U-R, is the flour that you use to bake cookies with. Now, what I would like you guys to do is look at all of these homophones and match them to their friends. Now, you can color it, you can just circle it with different colors. It doesn't matter. Okay, so you can complete this activity by yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had as much fun as I did today, and I'll see you during our next lesson. Bye!